everyone. Got head coach Ben Olsen here for you. Ben, back at home this weekend against Colorado, another Western Conference opponent. How's the team been preparing this week for this match?
Same way we always do, Jack. We identify some things that we need to continue to work on our end, and and then look at Colorado, their strengths and weaknesses, and try to figure out a way to get 3 points here at home. And they're a very good team. Really enjoyed watching some of what Chris is doing over there in Colorado. It's an aggressive group. It's got some youthful energy and combativeness, and so we're going to have to be at our best, certainly. They've managed to pick up a bunch of points in the league so far, and they're in good form, so we'll have our hands full. But it's nice to get back home. We got 2 games at home here, and we want to start moving up the standings. But there's a lot of hard work that we need to do on this game day to earn the right to play and then be at our best.
Okay, thanks for that. Danny, go ahead.
Yes. Hey, coach. The 6 point, 4 point is good. Yeah, it's a different moment.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, one more chance at the home.
Yeah, we haven't been recently. Our home form's been okay. We got our home win against LA, and we want to continue moving forward with that. Early, again, not so much. We didn't do a good enough job of sending the home fans happy, and that's important to us to entertain and send them home happy with 3 points. So another chance to do that.
Cool. Good. Chris?
With Blake stepping up huge in goal, who steps up on the back line to keep that communication flowing when our defenders are pushing up so high? And what do these new guys need to do to make an impact that you haven't seen yet?
How we rest defend or active defend, or what our structure looks like as we're attacking is critical, and in particular against teams like Colorado and LA Galaxy, where they're dynamic and very aggressive in these transition moments. But it's every team, and something we work on every day and focus on how we deal with transition moments, and that's in their end, that's in our mid block, and we work on it every day. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it needs a little bit of work, and that's a process that is ongoing throughout the season. You mentioned Blake. I think Blake did a very good job for us for this stretch, and it's nice to we have Bondi in now, and add some more tension and competition in there in the goalkeeper situation as far as players. Lingers are finally available, so that's something that we're excited about, and I think our fans should be excited about to come see him. And overall, we're slowly, I think, leveling off as a group and starting to figure out who we are. But we need to get results, and we need to climb up the table right now. But again, it's nice to get some fresh blood in here as well.
Good. All right, we'll go to Zoom. Joey, go ahead.
Hey, Ben. So lately you've been playing Jeff McGlynn higher up the field in one of the attacking midfield positions of your 3-box-3. Now with Lingard and Holmes coming into the fold, how does that puzzle go together? Do you put Jack back down on the lower pivot, or do you have them compete for those spots?
Well, we continue to look at everything, and it's hard to do that. It's nice to have a lot of these guys and figuring some of this stuff out in preseason. But that's part of the trick of, as you add guys in, you have a few training sessions a week to really see what it looks like. But really, it's about games, and that's when we really find out about these players and what the relationships are around the field and how they fit in our system. Again, if you don't have the preseason, you just don't have the looks. So I've mentioned, it's who we are. It's now how we transition some of these players into this group and figure out what the next version of us is as we continue to add fresh blood. So it's a fun process. But it takes a little bit of time and it takes some thought. So we'll find out. We'll find out as it goes. But I think Jack's been doing very well. A little higher up the field, getting more, just closer proximity to goal. With his final ball. We know he can score from distance. Gets him in around some more production for him. But we also know what he can do when we move him a little lower and pull the strings. And I think he's a guy that we may bounce back and forth depending on the opponent, depending on the moment in the match, what the game is needed, home or away. So there's a lot that goes into that. And yes, also when Linger comes in and when Dwayne Holmes comes back into the fold, and Anali and Quinones and all these guys, and there's going to be a process to that of figuring it out. I don't have that answer, but at some point I will.
Now with Holmes, we've seen in the past in the championship, he's played a little bit of a wing-back role as well. Have you guys explored the option of him competing with Dorsey for that right-back spot?
Sure. We've talked about that. We've seen, we knew what we were getting from him. And versatility is a word that comes to mind. But, versatility is great, but it's hard to be, play here and there. And you got to build relationships. So we try to find out some of these guys, and that's part of the challenge. The guys coming in and finding them a spot that they can not just be a spot piece here and there, because it's hard to do that. Maybe that's how you get on the field, and you have to make the best out of it. But we're watching trainings and we're trying to figure out these guys. But Dwayne's a bit away, so we got some time on him.
Thanks so much, Ben.
Herman, go ahead.
Hey Ben, just want to ask you about, you've had some time to spend with Lingard in training, and what aspects of his game have you seen in person in training sessions that you're excited to incorporate into your team?
Well, he's different than in one main probably aspect than the 10s that we have or that we've had, and the vertical running component to a 10 has not been our strength, and we've been very supportive, and it's allowed us to maintain possession and at times build with numbers into the attack. But sometimes good old-fashioned running works, and a guy that can now join the box and finish and be a real nuisance in that way is something I think this group needs. So he has some of that, and again, we're excited to see what he has to offer over the next a few weeks. But it's a process, just even though he's been training and it's been good that he's been here for a few weeks and understands who we are and how we're going to go about things. It's still about getting on the field and going through those reps with the team in real time against MLS opponents, and that takes time, as it is going to be Dwayne and Nelson and these guys coming back. So that's the challenge of this kind of next phase of the season until the summer.
And then, speaking of Colorado, Chris Armas had a great season last year, sneaking into the playoffs at the end. And he started this season, him and his team, on the right path. They have midfield maestro in Mihailovic, and, just your scouting report on Colorado.
Well, I'm a big fan of Chris Armas. I always have been. Anytime you've shared a field and competed with a guy, a wonderful player and competitor and a great human being, and such great experience over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And then for him to now having to watch him have success at Colorado and kind of level that place off. In some ways, we had similar challenges coming here to Houston and him coming to Colorado. So some parallels there, and I like to think we have some parallels as human beings and coaches. But he's got him playing very well. His teams are always going to give, and they're going to be committed. And they're very, very aggressive right now. They're turning balls over. They're aggressive with their numbers forward. A lot of running in behind, and they want to get to goal pretty quickly. And that's a very dangerous thing. That's the good. On the other side, there's some moments that maybe that can help us and how we look at the game and how we look at going after them and some weaknesses. But they're good. They're manufacturing a lot of points, and they're scoring a bunch of goals. So this will be a very, very tough task. A little bit of a different animal than what we just saw at LA Galaxy in kind of how they go about the game. But you know, it's a good group. Every time we look at the schedule, there's a good team coming down, and that's it. That's our league. There's a lot of parity, and there's a lot of teams that are pushing the envelope.
Dustin, go ahead.
Hey man, I talked about the midfield some rumors this week about possibly another striker option. Do you feel like that's something you guys need to maybe push Ponce or give you another kind of look up front?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Perfect. And just one more thing on Colorado. You talked about Mihailovic, how good he's been. How difficult is it to play these number 10s, that can kind of roam everywhere and create from all over the field?
Yeah, it's easy to circle him on the board and say, we got to get after this guy, tight to him. These guys spend their whole lives being that guy, being the guy that teams key in on and try to stop. So they capable of getting out of pressure with the ball. They understand space. They understand how to, be the right distance between two players and find little pockets. And he's got a final product. And he's very well rounded in that he can provide and slip, service, but also he can score as well. So he's a very, very good 10 in this league, and I think he has been for a while. It's just a matter of him being with the right group for him to have success, and he seems to be in good form. And he's not the only one. They've got a few players playing at a really high level, and it's a collective group. So, but we're looking forward to it. We think our form is over the last 4 games. I think we continue to grow and learn about ourselves, and we're now hopefully we can start maximizing points here at home.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, we're wrapping up with Jesus. Jesus, go ahead.
Hey, man. You're 8 games into this season. What is something you've learned about this team as it's currently constructed? Obviously, we know it's different team players for the past couple of seasons. What's something you've learned about this team through these 8 games?
Good question, Jesus. You may have stumped me, actually.
The first time, I guess.
Yeah, it was the first time what have I learned about this group? I don't know if it's something I've kind of redirected it. I think we're growing. We're moving forward. It's getting better. I think the first couple of weeks the first month, it was pretty rocky, and we questioned maybe our identity because of what we had and some of the injuries. And I think maybe what I've learned is we can still play at a high level and play the way we want to and stick to our game model with this group we have right now. But we have to get over that hump. And I think you've seen some of that in glimpses over the first 8 games. And I think they're growing in confidence of sticking to how we want to go about the game. And they're starting to believe slowly. We're still far from where we need to be, but I think they're at least starting to have some real belief that we can continue on kind of who we are and stick to what we do to win games.